In your Guardian interview, I think it was yesterday,
Mm.
you said you had a technique to get people to listen to you.
Mm.
What is that technique?
Well, you have to watch it and listen to it in action. I'm not giving away my trade secrets. No, I suppose what I was referring to, I try to be interesting, humorous. I try to make sense of things in a historical context. I try to use words that people are not normally used to hearing, which stick in their mind, you know, lickspittle, indefatigable, and popinjay, and all the people are. There's on the internet. Someone's made a lexicon of all my unusual words, and you just press the button and you hear me saying it. It's quite interesting. I did it the other day. I hope the opposite of dull, the opposite of boring, and I think dullness and boredom are enemies of understanding.
And you don't drink?
No, I never have.
What, if any, are your vices?
Well, on camera I'm not going into them all, but the one I say in public, mention in public, is I smoke 2 Havana cigars a day, which is probably one more than I should. It's a habit I've had for a long time. But I don't drink, I don't gamble, I hardly spend any money on myself, and all I do is smoke 2 cigars a day. And I'm looking for a wife, so if there's anyone out there.
Did you hear that, readers? Viewers? So no women on the scene for you?
No.
Fidel Castro, what affiliation do you feel with him?
He's the greatest man I've ever met, by a long, long way. I've had the good fortune to be a personal friend of his for decades. I respect and admire his intellect, his charisma, his courage, and his achievements. And I think if all the world were led by Fidel Castro's, we'd have a better world.
Of the prospective candidates who've thrown their hat into the ring so far, who would you most like to see win the 2008 US presidential election?
Oh, Barack Obama, undoubtedly. Not that he's the best candidate in the field. There are others with better politics than him, Denis Kucinich for one. Even Ron Paul, the rather extraordinary Republican candidate, for another. But neither of these two has the remotest chance of winning the nomination, and if they did, they would have no chance whatsoever of being elected president. But Barack Obama is a man who can win the nomination and can win the presidency. And of the candidates who could do that, he's by a long chalk ahead. He's a very exciting politician. Hillary Clinton may be the worst, by the way, and she may be the least. She may be the most likely to win the nomination and the presidency, and she will turn out to be the worst. Her attitude, you know, it's only last summer that she was standing outside the United Nations demonstrating in favor of the Israeli attack on Lebanon, holding a placard saying Israel is fighting for American values. And she wasn't lying, she really believes that.
Would you sooner see Giuliani than Clinton?
Well, that would be a close run thing. I wouldn't at this moment say that. But I think in terms of the Arab world, in terms of the Israel-Palestine conflict, Hillary Clinton will be a disaster. Is
Brown's government any closer to your politics internationally than Blair's was?
If anything, further away. You know, I've described Blair and Brown as 2 cheeks of the same arse. And I strongly believe that. But on the international agenda, Brown is, if anything, even worse than Blair. Certainly he's a much stronger supporter of Israel than Blair, and you might find that hard to believe, but it's true. He boasts that his father was a fundraiser for the Jewish National Fund, which by one means or another, hook or crook, purloined huge tracts of Palestinian land before the catastrophe. And he goes out of his way to make it clear that he will support Israel to the nth degree.
After the last general election, in which you beat Labour's Una King, she described your campaign as one of the dirtiest we've seen in British politics. Why do you think she said that?
Yeah, because she's a liar. She invented non-existent anti-Semitism in our election campaign. which is not only a deep insult to us, it's a great insult to the people who sent her to Parliament not once but twice, when she was just as Jewish as she was the time they threw her out. The only person that suffered anything in the election campaign was me, when the Islamist fundamentalists of the Muhajirun kidnapped me and locked me in a room with my daughter and threatened to hang me because I was advocating that Muslims should vote, when according to them democracy was haram, voting for the kuffar was haram, and was tantamount to apostasy, and I should be hanged. And they showed me the hook from which they were going to hang me. That's fairly dirty, isn't it?
Have you heard from them since that incident?
Well, he's the man who later popped up confronting the Home Secretary John Reid in Walthamstow in a very famous altercation. You'll imagine that I recognised him right away.
You often repeat against allegations that you profited from oil trading in Iraq during the Oil for Food programme that you never owned or saw any oil. So we thought you might need this for your kitchen.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And an extra virgin too.
That's great. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. That's very kind of you.